My favorite place to look for designer jewelry is Luxury Bazaar. They carry unique statement pieces that elevate your look with both new and vintage designs at a fraction of the cost. Thank you to Luxury Bazaar for sponsoring today's video. Be sure to check out their website, linked down below. Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be sharing some of my favorite products from the month of December. Towards the end of last year, I did my 2019 Luxury Beauty Roundup. It was quite a long and extensive list. A couple of these products were already mentioned, some of them weren't, but at least now I have a little bit more time to go in depth and really explain why I love them so much. Before we dive right in, if you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. This is our pink, sparkly, positivity-filled bubble on YouTube, where we talk about luxury, beauty, fragrance, so much more. So if you love luxury as well, you can join our community by subscribing, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. I have a lot of face products here to talk about, and I separated them into two categories, creams and powders. In the fall, winter months, or whenever it's a bit colder outside, I tend to integrate a lot more creams into my makeup routine. Not that it's been incredibly cold here in Miami, it hasn't, but we did some traveling for the holidays and my skin has just felt a little bit drier and a bit more tight. So the first product I have here to mention is the By Terry CC Serum in the shade Rose Elixir. I've used this almost every single day since I made the purchase, which was at the very end of November. I really love using this as a primer. I think you can mix it into your foundation. I have not done that. I haven't felt the need, but it leaves such a beautiful sheen underneath your foundation. And I like to pair this with a full coverage foundation, pair it with a matte foundation, and I feel like it gives me that really beautiful, ethereal, healthy glow without leaving me too dewy. I have discovered in watching back videos that there is such a thing as being a little bit too dewy. I just love how natural it is and it's not greasy whatsoever. It doesn't leave any sort of film on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy. It goes on so light and it has more of a natural skin finish. So wearing this underneath foundation, it just looks really beautiful. It's been perfect with absolutely every foundation I've paired it with, and I really regret not picking up either a different shade or maybe a backup. I hate doing that. It seems so ridiculous. I almost want to just use up everything I have before I make any sort of restock. But I love it so much, and it was such a great deal when I picked this up from Barney's that I think I sort of missed a great opportunity there. I highly recommend this CC serum. If you like a little brightness in your foundation, the CC serum is the way to go. Other radiance primers that I've tried, some of the most popular on the market, tend to break me out. So that's another reason why I love this, is because I don't know what's in it, if there's any skincare benefits, but my skin and this product agree, which is always a good thing. An all-time favorite that I recently revisited is the Chanel CC cream, and it just makes sense. This is the time of year that I love the extra hydration that this gives my skin. It has so many yummy ingredients: moringa plum extract, it's chock full of hyaluronic acid, vitamin C, SPF 50. So it has sun protection, which is really nice. But this is what I've been using as my CC cream. I did also pick up the By Terry CC cream, and as much as I do really like it, I think it's I consider it to be more of a foundation. It reminds me a lot of the Vita Lumiere Aqua or some sort of lightweight skin finish. So on days that I want a true tinted moisturizer, I really want that hydration, I grab the CC cream. This product serves so many purposes. I use the shade 30 Beige. I will never go without the Chanel CC cream. And I feel like it's been a little while since I've talked about it. I did mention it in my yearly favorites video. I'll probably mention it in my 2020 yearly favorites, 2021, and so forth and so on. But this is something that I've been using and I'm starting to get towards the end, unfortunately. I have a few liquid products to mention here. I'm going to begin with the NARS Liquid Orgasm Blush. I love this blush so much. I think it is one of the most perfect, universally flattering shades. This blush would look beautiful on everybody. All skin types, all skin tones. It blends so easily on the skin, and truly you only need the teeny tiniest amount, which is why I still have, I think, more than half of this bottle and I use it constantly. I mean, you can tell it is used and abused. It's not looking very pretty, but this is just such a great blush, and I think I kind of hold on to it and save it for special occasions, so I always bring it out every once in a while, but it tends to maybe get pushed back in the drawer for the simply for the sake of using other products. I have to force myself to use the other blushes that I own. But because we recently had the holidays and so many occasions and special events and gatherings, get-togethers, when I want my makeup to look its very best and I want a really happy rosy cheek, this is what I grab. So certainly in the month of December we had a lot going on and I grabbed this a lot, and I just think it's such a great product. I think it's $30. I've had this for months and months and it's so beautiful. Another liquid product is this Bare Minerals Bare Pro Glow. I used this when I was filming my New Year's Eve tutorial, which I had filmed before we left for vacation. So I had filmed it before, and I've been getting a lot of use out of it ever since. And at first I found it a little bit tricky simply because it is liquid, not cream, not to be confused with something like a Soleil Tan de Chanel. A little bit goes a very long way, similar to the blush. But as I've been using it more and more and really forcing myself to get used to it, I love the way it looks because it has a very, very, very subtle sheen on the skin, which is so beautiful, and I don't think I've ever had a bronzer that I could compare it to. I'm actually wearing the Luminous Lait Beige powder on my face today, and even the Luminous Lait Beige from Chanel doesn't really have that much of a glow to the skin, whereas this, you have to look very close, and it's a light golden sheen, so it doesn't look muddy, or it's not like a contour cool toned shade. It's beautiful. I've also tweaked my application, which is the benefit of forcing yourself to use a product over and over. You get better at it. So what I like to do is go in with my foundation and then I'll go in with my bronzer. Instead of doing concealer second, I do that last. And that way, if I did go a little bit overboard, because the thing about the liquid is that a little bit goes a long way, but it also blends very far. So you might apply just a tiny bit of bronzer, but as you're blending it out to make it very smooth, you end up blending a lot of bronzer all over your face. So going in with the concealer on top helps add a little bit more brightness so that you don't have too much bronzer on. And that little combination, that reversal of the steps, has made a huge difference, and now I truly love the way it looks because it's not too much. And the last cream product I have here to mention is the Radiant Corrector Concealer from Clé de Peau. Everybody knows their stick concealer. It gets all of the attention, all of the praise, but I've truly fallen in love with this concealer pen. It is the perfect consistency, and it dries down to the perfect finish, which is so difficult to find. Concealer is always very tricky for everybody. Everybody has different concerns, whether it's dark circles or maybe dry skin. Maybe you have a lot of fine lines. So finding a good concealer seems like the never-ending search, truly. And it's why I've really stuck to my Chanel corrector, and I don't really stray from that. In most videos, I'm wearing the Chanel concealer. It's really basically the only concealer I talk about. Every once in a while, I'll throw in a new one. I remember swatching this on my hand a few weeks before I purchased it, and I thought this consistency could be perfect. And I'm so glad that I did pick it up on sale, and I've never looked back. Now I alternate between this and the Chanel, but I'm starting to lean towards the Clé de Peau as being my #1 favorite, which feels very difficult to believe, but I really do love this concealer. When you blend it out, it's not going to give you an incredibly full coverage, but it does cover enough, and then it also has the perfect consistency in the dry down. It's not incredibly drying, and it really doesn't crease on me at all. I can't say that about any other concealer really, except for the Chanel. In fact, I've been so inspired after purchasing this and having such great success, I went ahead and I purchased the Hourglass concealer and the new Dior concealer. So both of those are on their way to me very soon. I know I talked about a potential no buy for the month of January, but what I decided on was a low buy for all of 2020. I want to be a lot more mindful about all of my beauty purchases and just make sure that anything that I'm picking up adds value and adds something different to my collection so that I'm not simply hoarding a ton of makeup that I could not possibly use up in my lifetime if I tried. And now I have 3 powders here to talk about. This first one is the Warm Memories eyeshadow palette from Chanel. This came out at the very end of the year, so it made it in the nick of time for my yearly favorites and my December favorites. I've been wearing this palette a lot, and that stands out to me because usually when I purchase an eyeshadow palette, I'll wear it for a couple times and then, I don't know, I put it down and it doesn't really excite me anymore. I feel like I've been exposed to way too many similar eyeshadow palettes, or I just own so many eyeshadow palettes that I don't use. I find myself not incredibly inspired sometimes when it comes to eyeshadow. But this quad is so beautiful. I think it is perfect for blue eyes or light eyes. I bet it would be gorgeous even with brown eyes too, because the mauves can maybe lean a little bit more on the purple side. But this is my ideal palette. I took it with me to Pittsburgh over the holidays. I've been wearing it almost every day since. I've been pairing this with the 3 little liquid eyeshadows that I picked up as well, and I think it's very beautiful. You can come up with a lot of great looks, and this has been sort of my everyday eyeshadow palette ever since I received it. The spring eyeshadow palette from last year looks basically untouched. Unfortunately, I hate to say that, but it's true. Whereas this palette, I find myself thinking, maybe I should get a backup. Should I get a second one? I really just love these colors. This is something that truly speaks to me, and I've already been very happy with how much wear I'm getting out of it. So I feel really great about the purchase on the one hand. It's not one of those palettes that is going to go in the drawer and never be used. Next, I have another Chanel palette. This is the Tweed Pink Blush. This was launched on Chanel.com on Cyber Monday, and it was a total surprise and shock, and I am so happy that they came out with a color like this because it is the perfect light pink, baby, angelic, ethereal blush. It truly is an ideal shade. It is so beautiful, and even though it still has a little bit of the flecks left on top, I find that it gives this perfect kind of glow from within to the skin. It's not overly glowy. It's beautiful. I've grabbed this so much more than any of my other blushes recently, and so I feel like I am going to get a ton of use out of this product. It just gives this really natural glow to the skin, which can be difficult to find. It is very light, so if you have medium to deeper skin, this might not show up on you. This really is made for somebody with light to pale skin. This next powder was such a happy surprise. This is the Illamasqua Beyond Powder Highlighter in the shade OMG. I got this in my advent calendar from the Beauty Expert, and it is so beautiful. I love the color, and I love the entire compact. I love the texture, so much so that I went on their website and they had a huge sale going on, and I ordered a couple things. So I have not played around with them just yet, but I am very excited to try more products from them. Their highlighters in particular really stand out to me because they have a couple shades that are sort of iridescent, but they're very unique. They're unlike anything else that I've seen. This looks so smooth on the skin, and I think it is the perfect daily highlighter. You can build it up if you wanted it to be really dramatic, but I think this is kind of the most perfect universal everyday highlight. It's beautiful. I have a new brow product here to talk about, which is somewhat rare but very exciting. This is from Plume. It's their brand new Nourish and Define Brow Pencil, and they were kind enough to send this to me complimentary since it's a new product. I'm using the shade Chestnut Decadence. What I love about this pencil is that it's kind of the perfect size pencil. It's not too small, it's not too large, so you can still achieve hair-like strokes when you're filling in your eyebrows, but it doesn't take you forever to do so. So it's nice, fast, easy. The color is perfect. And I've used several Plume products before in the past. They also have a really great lash brow serum, and then they have a brow pomade, which is really incredible if you want a more bold brow. I don't use it that often simply because I think it takes me a little bit longer, but it's really beautiful. And what's great about their products is that they're more natural. So inside the Lash Brow Serum, it's just vitamins. It's intended to kind of enhance natural growth, but do so without any harsh chemicals. So I really feel comfortable using their products near my eye. But these brow products, they're continuing to expand and make them even better. This pencil is amazing. The last piece of makeup I have to share is this Dior eyeshadow. This is the Dior Show Liquid Mono 650 Copper Sparks, which I've said it's not really copper, it's more of a rose gold. But I love this liquid eyeshadow so much. I really need to get my hands on other shades because it is such a great formula. It's so sparkly and shimmery and beautiful. I mean, this copper shade is really stunning. And I find that I wear it all the time, even for daily occasions. You know, if I'm meeting the girls out for lunch, I can wear this. It doesn't have to be used for really extreme, sparkly, dramatic evening eyes. I'm so happy that I picked this up on a whim. And initially, I only purchased it because I wanted something to compare with the new Chanel liquid eyeshadows. I didn't really realize that I was gonna fall so head over heels in love with it. And truly, this one is my favorite. The last product that I have to mention is a skincare item. This is from NeoCutis, and this was sent to me complimentary to review. And what interested me in this product and why I requested to review it is because I'm currently using their Lumiere eye cream, and I really like it, so it made me interested in the brand. Well, this is their Bio Serum. I've been using this in the evenings for the past maybe 4 weeks now, and I really love the texture. This serum feels incredibly hydrating and yet lightweight. So it goes on almost like a water-based moisturizer. Anytime I introduce a new skincare product, I like to keep it only at night or only during the day so that I don't overwhelm my skin. And I haven't had any reaction whatsoever to integrating this into my evening skincare routine. It has peptides and hyaluronic acid, so it's intended to boost your skin's elasticity for a more youthful look. In the past few weeks, I have not been using my retinol serum, so this has almost replaced that. I'm trying to cycle off of it. I know I kind of did this backwards. It's a better time to go on your retinol in the winter months when you're not going to be in the sun as much, and then maybe go off it in the summertime. So I'm doing it backwards, but I finished my first bottle of the retinol and I really love the results. My skin has never looked better. However, I feel like it's not working as much. So I want to give my skin a break from that and try to just restore some of the moisture back because retinol does tend to be very drying. So that's another reason why I wanted to introduce the Bio Serum. Even with all of the traveling, the late nights, eating bad food, I feel like my skin is in a pretty good spot right now. And a big part of that has to do with a very strict skincare routine. I like this serum so much. Next week, I'm gonna start using this in the daytime and see if I can notice any change. But I certainly feel like my skin is supple and very hydrated every time I use this serum. So if you're in the market for something that's gonna give you a nice boost and help your skin to absorb any moisture, this would be really great for you. And that completes my list of December favorites. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me any of your comments or questions down below. I love hearing from you guys, so if you have any favorite products from the month of December, drop me a comment so we can keep the conversation going there. As always, I will be linking all of the products that I mentioned, everything that I used today on my face, down below in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.